Yo, Mr. Jason. First of all, man, thank you so much for doing this lesson. I am still full-time streaming, so this support definitely helps me. And I hope to help you too, man. So I'm just going to go back to your email to just follow up and make sure that I don't miss anything. I want to tackle everything that you bring up and some more, hopefully. Let's see. So you said your gameplay and strategy is decent, mechanics not so much. But you're Diamond 1 to Diamond 3. You'd love to hear what you think that you could improve. It's been tough trying to hit Champ 1. I think a big part is my mechanics limiting my offensive potential. But if you could identify something else holding me back, that'd be great to know. I'll dig through my replays and try to get something over to you tomorrow. Okay, got you. And then here are 3 replays of 2s from tonight. Depending on how this goes, I'll probably do another round of games for 3s. Okay. And then you said you had a session with Flump today, and he pretty much validated my concerns regarding my lack of advanced mechanics. I've remapped my controller to enable arrow left and right and started working on some other tips he gave me. By all means, continue to analyze those replays as you normally would. I want to give you some additional context. Okay. So, basically, I don't even have arrow left and right bound. Now, I mean, I'm sure it's something that would help you a bit. It's not completely necessary, but hey, I mean, go for it. Why not? Okay, so let's see what you got. Let's hop into it. It usually takes me a little bit to figure out what you need to improve. Mechanically, I'll try to give you some packs. We'll see, some training packs, but interesting camera settings right off the bat. I've never seen anyone put it out this far. This is interesting. I want to see if it hinders your ability to aerial. What happened with this flip? I'm not sure how you landed this way. Huh. Did you front flip? You front flipped here. It's almost like you reverse half flip. Interesting. Okay, so I know you wanted to redirect this here. In these certain types of situations, this isn't a bad time to go for this pass, to be honest, as long as you can put it mid. I'll keep watching. I see you backflip here. You might get good touches. And you say you don't have... Your mechanics are meh. But so far, they're not looking too bad. Besides that one, poop flip. Okay, so it was a good little dodge there. Nice bump. I don't see you doing too many things wrong here. I mean, this one, to play it safe, I would have probably just played it over to the corner again. Because in this situation, watch, so you have Rab, right? You have the other guy in net. You have Rab hitting it. So the guy in net should be following you closely, right? That's the last time you saw him. Now, Rab is centering this. If you let this go like this, let's see what Black Lotus was doing. Okay, so he trusted you to hit it to the side. Not too bad of a play by you. At a higher rank, that's going to be a risky play. Most of the time, if not all of the time, at a higher rank, this person might be a little bit closer here, more trusting of this guy's pass. So I would definitely try to get the ball away from here. Now let me see how you rotated back that you were in this position. Okay. So for a rule of thumb, I see you kind of carved in a little bit early here. See how you kind of turned in this way before actually knowing how this was going to bounce off? You could calculate for more hits if you just come in around. As long as you have time for it, you could come in a bit farther, and then it allows you to approach the ball like this. And no matter where this ball goes, if it comes out here or if it goes along the wall, if it comes out, then you could get your right nose, or you could get the front right of your car over here, and you could chip it out. Or, if you're over here, you could hit the ball up and over this guy. Or you could just gain possession and slow it down. But if you kind of come in like this, it only allows a couple of things. You could either hit it on this bottom and bring it up, which is okay. You could follow it. or you'll kind of just get it out here. You want to avoid this wall because that'll send it back mid where the opponent should be ready for it. But that's why be careful when you turn in a bit too close here. Again, you could make it work, but to be a bit more consistent in the corners, if you feel like you're having problems in front of the net, then coming around wide will solve that. So instead, see how you turned in a little bit and then you had to adjust to the side? Now it puts you in this awkward position. Now you played that pretty well. Regardless, you played it pretty well. It was a nice little chip. This guy should have been a bit more ready for that, but it's okay. I want to, even if things don't happen in those specific situations, I still want you to be ready for them, you know? The worst possible, or the more common situation I want you to be ready for. Okay. So here. In this kind of situation where you have a teammate, this is just for solo queuing when you're queued with someone anytime, in twos especially, because you don't have a third man to rely on. If this is the case where your teammate gives up possession and he's kind of like working his way back and you're out of the play, then just hang back. Wait for the opponent to make a move because chances are it's going to take them a while to get this ball downfield. And throughout that time that they bring it back, this guy is going to be able to rotate. And he should rotate in a way that he could help you by cutting off this ball if they choose to dribble it or slow play or set up a play. So if you just check out the spacing, if you're really far back, that's okay. Let them hit the ball at you, gain possession, and then work on it. But see how close he is to this ball? By the time you get there, he could put it to the left, the right, over you. If he sees that you pre-jump, he could put it under you. So it's really risky to go for this ball, especially as the back man. If you do miss this, this should be a goal for them. Okay, now your teammate happened to get back. But do you see how close of a case that was? So be careful in those situations. You don't always have to put that pressure up and kind of try to guess where the ball is going to go. Now again, if you're in a situation here, let's see. Okay, so there's a lot of time that you're kind of just watching the play, and you're just basically the defensive net here, right? Just in case it goes over your teammate, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But in this case, yeah, you kind of drift back. It's okay to start moving up a little bit. You have a teammate going up for it. It looks like he's in a spot where he could connect with us. He does. It's a weak hit. But I'll try to show you the route that I would go to give you a little insight. Okay, so you hit it over here, right? This is where I'd start to move in, like this. So I would face this way at about this angle for two reasons. One, because this guy looks like he's going to get the ball over. And facing towards the wall, I could turn back in and then rotate around if he has a good possession. Or if he loses it and your teammate, say, takes the ball up and he gets the dunk, since it looks like he's going for the dunk, then you could turn to the right and you'll be ready for a play. So you're ready for both situations here. He's not going to just like hit this in on the first touch that he gets here. He's going to try to bring it up the wall. So being in this situation, I kind of start to move back, and then I'd kind of turn around here because I see that he passed it away. And then I'd come in here, and then this is where I'd choose whether to go back or if I want to contest. So in a different situation, if you were, staying closer to the play, you'd be ready for a bit more of a better contest here coming from the side, or you'd be ready to come back as well. Like I'd start coming back as well, and then I'd hit it to the side here, gain this boost, and then get the possession. So now if you played that a little passive, but again, it's okay to play safe, but just be careful going too far in when you're already so far backed out of the play. Okay, and then this is another corner play thing. So see how I already found a consistency in just 1 minute of your gameplay. See how you're rotating in? So you bite in a little bit, but you don't actually know how the ball is going to come out, so you decide to adjust. And then you slow down. So it's increasing your time to get back. So instead what I want you to do, let's just say you're in this position again, whenever you're in the corners. Right, so he hits it away. You dive, right? So now you're coming back here. This is fine. I would keep going straight like this, and then double jump here. Now, again, this could be a timing thing. You definitely weren't confident, so even if you did wrap around, you might not have gotten to this in time. Let me see how you got so far in the first place. I think that all stemmed off of you overreaching. Okay, yeah, it did. So that all kind of stems back from that. So not being part of the play here and then trying to be a part of the play when you're back here caused you to overextend where they hit it over you because the spacing, you know, because he was a lot closer to the ball than you were. And then you have to kind of hurry to get back. And you could still make the save. But hesitation will kind of be the death of you as well. Here you had the proper angle. In this situation, I don't really mind that you took an aggressive angle because the ball was already coming into your side. In this other case over here when the ball was coming towards you, you had time to wrap around. So if you don't have much time, then I get it. It's fine. But commit to it. Try to go for those hits. You saw how it was coming out. It's best to block it off here because you can't do this slowdown thing every time. But I'll keep watching. I'll see if that's so far, I'm going to keep an eye on the corner plays on defense. Okay, so this is a bit of a throwaway possession. I don't care if you score this or not. So do you see the spacing here? This was a really good kickoff by your teammate. Great positioning by you. Good to cheat up. But you have possession here. So you could control this ball, slow it down, even slow it down to the point where you hit it this way, grab this boost, and then swing around. Because this guy's giving you space. So if you try to make a play before he's even close up to you, it lets him know what you're doing and where you're putting the ball. So the cases where that's okay is if you're making him jump for it in an awkward position. So say he's here, right, like the way he is, and you hit it above the crossbar. Now he has to try to guess how it's going to come off the crossbar. That's okay, because that's a dangerous save for him. You know, he's got to work on that mechanically to get that save. Now, with this case, where you're just hitting it against the wall, that's it. You gave up possession. So try to slow this down when you have space. Take this ball, get possession. You don't even have to go for this boost. And you could flick it in, or you could roll the ball and then drive around it. Here, I'll give you some, for instances here. So we're at 349, I'll remember. So let's just say you have the ball like the way you did, right? So like over here. So you could do a couple of things. You could just dribble it like this, which you could work on mechanically. You know, you might not be able to do it on the first try or anything like that. Or you could do this. You get a slight touch. Yikes. You get a slight touch, and then you could slam it in. So like this, right? And then you try to slam it in. So you could practice these shots. You don't have to do it this far out. If you're this far out and you see him in the net, then you could bring it a little bit closer, make it easier for yourself. But if he's challenging this like this, then you could hit it to the side. So these are things you could do in free play. But I just want to let you know that you have options to do, you know, options to score, make an offensive play. And you'll see that more in 2s than 3s. Because 3s, there are just more people on the field, so you're going to want to not play it so slow all the time. Sometimes it's okay. But in 2s especially, and definitely 1s, it'll help you maintain that possession. Then don't get me wrong, in 3s as well, you want to be able to find your teammates. Slowing down the ball isn't a terrible thing. Sorry about my parrot. She's being nuts. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so I don't mind the positioning here. Okay, so this is another situation where you're kind of just throwing away possession. Where you could hit the ball, so then you could try to follow it up. so that you could try to hit it over Rab or make it awkward for him, and then follow it up after that on Black Lotus. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a pretty powerful hit. But I think it's hard for your teammate to connect to that. Regardless, you didn't give up possession, so I don't mind it too much. Good defense here. But I'm going to keep an eye on it. A lot of the inconsistencies at Diamond and even Champ is that players tend to not maintain possession for too long. And that's okay if you're going for passes and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you were actually going for a pass there, if you were trying to hit it towards the goal, but we'll see. I'll keep watching. Okay, so he hits it towards you. That was a pretty nice block by Rob. I'm going to keep watching out for your power shots as well. So far, I've seen a couple that were a bit weird, and I think the reason for that is the angle that you have. I'm guessing that you have around a -7 angle. And that's why I use the -3 angle. It's going to feel really weird at first, and you don't have to do that. But with a -3 angle, you see the car a bit further down like this, and it helps you understand the level that the ball is coming at, so then you could power shoot it under. So if you want, you could experiment and switch up your camera settings, but it's not necessary. Okay, this is there's another thing where you're kind of the first hit that you're getting is outrunning. The ball is outrunning you each time. So again, it's slowing down the possessions, but this is only the first 2 minutes, so I'm going to keep watching. All right, so it's another one of those things again, where you're hitting the ball and it's making it too hard for you to follow it up. That's actually a thing you could practice in free play as well. Just hitting the ball hard and then following it up. That's it. Just do that over and over again. You could hit it off walls. You could hit it over the backboard. Hit it wherever. But so far see how you're doing this again? This is why. A big part of your gameplay, where I think you'll score more goals, is slowing the ball down. Maintain that possession. Is a huge part of your game. So here, the way that I would go around this, let's say this ball comes out, right? Like this. You slow down, and that's good. Put me over here. Okay, you slow down, so that's good. But now start to wrap around the left side. So you could pause a little bit if you see that the other guy's not going for it. In this case, he pressured a little bit, but he backed off. So I would move it just a little bit and then start to come out on the left side. And then grab this boost while you're caving in. And what that'll do is you could push this ball up the field this way and then make the play over here. But instead, you've already used about 3/4 of your boost, I think, before you even got past this line, which is going to be extremely hard for you to continue down the field. So when you actually should be making the play all the way down the field, you're going to have absolutely no boost and potentially lose possession because the ball's already at a high point of the wall. So you see how you have 20 boosts now, you use the rest. And to your teammate, it's kind of hard to play off of that. So let's see from his perspective. So you're already up, you try to force it, and you're forcing it out really quick. So I really want you to work on holding those possessions. I'm telling you, it's going to make a world of a difference. But again, things like this, they're okay. Like you hit this ball up, you were able to make the second hit. So you don't have to slow it down every time if you're confident in getting that second touch off of your initial hit. Another thing for a side note is be careful in these situations for going for this boost. English, by the way. I'd be careful when you go for this boost over here. After you hit the ball and kind of lose possession, and he's getting contested here, if this guy gets beat, then you're going to have to try and work and contest him. Maxie, shush. You're going to have to work on contesting him and race him to get back, which is not what you want to do. Whereas if you turn in this way to rotate back, you get these little boost pads, and then you'll be fine. So if that guy hits it over him, you could meet the ball before he gains possession, potentially. But what you do – sorry, I was messing up. What you do by going out wide this way is it increases your time to get back. Now, it could allow you to be in the proper position if this guy gets the dunk, but it's risky. It's called a 50-50 for a reason. It's a chance. So not taking that chance and kind of covering both outcomes is the best thing to do, I'd say. So again, in this situation, boom, say you hit that ball, you come over here, this is where you land. Rotate around this way, like this. So when we gets the hit back in, now look, you could come back up. Now, I wouldn't go for this still because Blackout has that angle covered, but you could go for it in case it was a better pass. So you come around here, and then look, you'd be here, you'd be ready to make the shot. Right on this bounce. But see how you're back here? And that's because of the wide rotation all the way back. So let's see your routing after. So you go to this outside boost. Now you turn back in because it looks like you could get it. You decide to go back. And see your position in an open hit. So now they're giving you a lot of space, but they still have possession. So a ball that you could continue to put pressure on, you're being a bit too passive. And it has to do with the rotation and being in the proper position. So I hope that makes sense. It's definitely a big rotational kind of fix. And once you get that fix, then you're good to go. You'll see yourself putting more pressure on their offense a lot more. Let's get back to you. Okay, so I like your positioning there. Nice. That was perfect. It's good to find your teammate. You gave him possession. Okay, so this is a very risky play by you. When they have possession, you really want to be careful going for demos because all Black Lotus has to do is juke your teammate on the wall, and that's it. So going for demos, the times that I usually go for them is if I pass the ball over the top and there's one guy in net and my teammate's ready for it, then I'll go for the demo. If my teammate has possession and there's only one opponent in net and the other guy isn't going to be able to contest my teammate in time, who's dribbling or shooting, then I'll go for the demo if I'm in the position for it. Or if I'm rotating out after a pass again, just if my rotation cuts out this angle, then I'll go for the demo. Or I'll go for a bump, but I won't go out of my way. So I'll continue the rotation, and if he's on this goal line, say when I'm going around, like the last time, when you went for this boost, if you saw him in net, you could turn a little bit, go for the hit, and then keep following through. But when your opponent has possession on the wall, and it's a 1v1 for your teammate, you really have to be careful. That's a big risk to go for this. So chances are you're going to get scored on here. Okay, nope, your teammate still got it, so that's pretty good by him. But still, again, it's not the specific, like, whatever happened in that case. It's just the situation itself that I want you to kind of adapt to. And the more consistent you get with each situation and you break it down, then you'll just see yourself improve over time. I believe it. So far, your mechanics are actually pretty good. Trust me, compared to even, like, low champs and stuff like that, you're doing fine. Okay, so usually I would say that this is a bad thing to do. This would have been fine if you hit the ball slightly different. If you hit it sideways, you were in a perfect spot too. If you hit it sideways and it got over this guy, that's not a bad stop because they gave up possession. Now, instead, you kind of hit it off the back of yourself, so it went there. My only tip there is that if you see that you're in the center and you're cutting it off and it's not giving you possession, then just try not to do that anymore. Just follow through, going back, rotate around, let your teammate contest, or if you see your teammate rotating back in time, then you contest in the midfield. Okay, so you're using a ton of boost here. Let's see. Okay, so this is a little bit chasey. Your eyes are on the ball. If you make this hit and it messes up, and you know that they're ready for it, that they're going for it, I would just start to come back. Now I understand this was like a panic deal, so I'm not gonna look too far into it. But the thing I will pay attention to is the boost right here. So look, you're at 91, right? You do this jump. Do you see how you start boosting? I would immediately just stop boosting when you're falling down. And then turn around, and that's when you jump and flip right away. So just turning around here, you're covering little to no space, and you already used about 40 boost. And then now you used about 70, and you barely covered any space. So what I would do there is just make your turn on the floor like this. Make your turn and then boost and front flip when your car is facing the direction that you want to go, because you end up boosting way more on the turn and your momentum isn't really increasing. You're not gaining any speed because you're turning so hard. So make that little turn adjustment and then do your front flip and your boost right after. And then you'll see that you'll have a lot more boost then. Sorry, it's locking up. It still does this after 3 years. It's getting bigger. I don't mind the bump there, though. I think that was a pretty good bump. Because Rab gave up possession. Your teammate could hit it out to the side. He just made a mechanical mistake. So I don't blame you on this one if they score that. Yikes. Okay, so your teammate kind of just messed up there. It's all right. It's a mechanical mistake. I'm going to keep watching you, though. You like to go in the corner a lot. For that boost. And it's a bad habit to get into if it catches you out a decent amount. See again here, the possession slowing down. Now you're forcing yourself to kind of catch it. In this situation, it's not so bad because you're able to catch it again. But again, I want you to get it through your head that if you are tossing the ball away and you find that it's too hard to catch up to it, try to practice slowing it down. So in here, that hit was kind of just a way to get the ball to get momentum. And it worked out. You followed it up after. But if you do feel like you're throwing away possession too much, then just try to slow it down. That's all I want to get out to you. Again, those double, like the hit into another hit, if you could catch up to it, then that's perfect. Good positioning here. Nice. I like that you went back. Okay, so this is a little bit sloppy. The only thing... Let's see. The only thing that I'd say here is when I see that he hits the ball away from him, do you see how you turn in? This isn't a bad way to turn in. But I really would like you to practice. I'm pretty sure there are shots like this too. You can even set up your own training if you'd like. When a ball is coming back, I want you to practice wrapping around and hitting it towards their net. So getting it anywhere above, anywhere towards the top, even just anywhere in the net. Because in these situations, it could be a lot more risky for their save if you get it all the way up and powerful. So I'll finish watching this one. I'll just show you what I used to do to practice this kind of thing. Ooh. Okay, so if you remember, if you missed that demo and he's getting contested, start to head back because he's getting 50-50 there. This could be another goal for them. Oh, maybe not. But on those 50-50s, I really want you in a spot where you could turn back or go ahead and go for the play. But here, if he's getting contested head on, you don't know if it's going to go towards their side, but you can adjust for that if you're facing back this way. So you're rotating around, right? If you're facing this way and looking at the ball, then you could start to head back already instead. Let me show you the spot that I would go, basically. So here, first of all, we'll zoom back a little bit. Let's say you get that hit. You don't have to keep boosting so far. You can, but you could. What I would do is maintain some boost. This way you could make the follow-up play. So you could stay on this, and there would be some space in between you, and then you could go for it while they go out. But you using all your boost to try to catch up to a ball that you hit away from yourself, it just leaves you in a spot where you have no boost and you're on their corner. And it's going to take a lot more time to get back. So this was just a mistake rotating back like that, but he ended up missing. Okay, you found your teammate. That was pretty good. That was a nice pass. I like that you're at least trying to find your teammate. You're definitely ahead of the game in that sense. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'll just show you an all-star, but this is what I used to do back when there were no training packs. You could set up a training pack that does something like this. So I would start like this, go forward, and then work on wrapping around. And then hitting the ball towards the net. So move forward to the second boost. Come back around like this, and then go up. Like that. You don't have to follow it in. It doesn't really matter. The point is to just get used to getting return clears on the way back. So coming back like this, and then hitting it up. Now, if you do that a bunch of times, you can make it even more awkward for yourself. Say you want to wrap around wide, right? Like this. Keep practicing. Just keep doing it over and over again. You could even try to go up to the second one. Try to go up like this, and then try to make the quick turn. That's an even harder one that I'd recommend once you're used to the first boost. Once you're used to doing it here, go up to this second one, come back, and then try to hit it towards the net. It's not easy, and I actually put a little bit of drift in there so that I could rotate faster. It's like I'm drifting now, and then I drift again. I'm telling you, practicing that skill in itself, it's just good across the board mechanically. And it's really good to learn to keep constant pressure on the opponents when they give up possession. Let's knock out number 2. Your name is I like to pass the ball. I like that. You definitely do. I'll tell you, it's good. A lot of people are just selfish in this game. But hey, you could ball chase and still not pass, and it could work out for you. But so in this situation, when it's this far away from you and it's bouncing to you, you could stay on the floor and then do a front flip into the ball when it's closer to you. You'll get more power that way. Double jumping here when you have no speed is just going to pass the ball at a slower range. Definitely want to work the front flip momentum in there. Again, so far, I know Flump tried to teach you with the air roll left and right. I don't see any problems with your play so far. You could even get away without using air roll for a really long time. But if you're uncomfortable with that, I would definitely just focus on more positional type of play. But if it helps you, then screw it. You know, work on that too. Okay, so this is another case where you see you're hitting it away from yourself constantly. Practice catching the ball here. It's rolling nicely or it's bouncing nicely on the floor. You could catch it and then kind of roll it out. Instead, you're constantly trying to hit it away and then second guess the way it's going to come out. Okay, so this you're just not confident with hitting it up. Your teammate went for it. He might have called you off. It wasn't a bad attempt on your part. Good kickoff. Let's see. Nice. That was really good by you. That was perfect spacing by you. Play off your opponent's mistakes. Very good. So far, so good. Nice. Okay. I like the shadowing. Nice. This is so far that was perfect. Utilizing these little boost pads, getting that demo. I'd say that's good. That was almost a good dribble by your team. It was a good attempt. On a side note, what I was hesitant about here, in this case, this was okay because he was already ready. If you find that you're in the situation that your teammate has the possession and he's moving fast, here he was moving slow, so what you did was fine. If he's moving fast and the opponent is recovering and it looks like he has no boost, so he's just flipping back, I would let him live. Because the amount of time that it would take for him to get back and reach the ball is more than the amount of time that he could contest from here. So if you kill him back there and he spawns, he's able to reach the ball from this point. Or if he gets really lucky from this point when he's dribbling over here. And then it wouldn't be so good. In this case, I thought it was fine. But just a mental note that demos aren't always the best if it's going to take more time for the opponent to recover. Again, not a bad idea here. You still that still created a lot of space for your teammate. Nice cluster. Okay, so a couple things. This was a decent hit. Again, this is more mechanical, where you could practice your power up, your shots. I don't mind the shot. I think it was pretty good. But continuing to go forward after you know that they have to make a save is no good. I would slow down right here because you made your shot. Now let them block it and give space in between you and the net so that you can adjust for the hit off of their save. So again, I would slow down here like this, and then I would start to come around from this way. And then that's when I would hit it to the side. So I would actually hit it straight to the left if I saw this guy contesting head on. Instead, do you see how you're coming back towards your side, hitting the ball? So try not to follow up too closely when they're in the net going for an awkward save. Just play off of the awkward save. Now let's see what happens. Okay, regardless, this is pretty good from you. Uh-oh. It was good up until that point. If you hit it in the corner, that'd be fine. You had the right setup, though. Oh, your teammate's AFK. I think he was just being patient. Okay, so this is just another, like, you're attempting to slow down the play, which I like because you're only dribbling on one person. It's just another thing you just have to practice. Okay, so when you see that it's close, this is one of those cases where he got the pinch and it went out. I would start wrapping in, because here you're not going to make the save. If it goes in here, you're not making the save. You're already too far. So start to come around to the side like this, and then you could save it in from here. The angle that you're going for is only good if it comes up here like this. But you could go for that save if you go in here anyway. So going around towards the middle would save you more. Again, this is kind of an anomaly because it did happen to pinch and just roll out the side. Doesn't happen a lot. But that's just what I would have done in that situation. Nice. It's like you applied what I already said. You started slowing it down more. That was a really nice dribble. So you're not bad at dribbling. It just seems in the first one you were trying to just hit it too fast a lot. But good play by you. Good setup. Okay, so here, that was a good first hit. Why? Because it's going to bounce off nicely. The thing that you did wrong is that you didn't go for your actual pass. This is your ball here. So instead you kind of left the play. This is definitely an open goal for you. Not open, there's a person in there, but a really good shooting opportunity. So if you hit the ball and it's anywhere on this side after you touch it and you're coming from this left side, that's your ball. If it goes out and you hit it over here and it comes out anywhere in the middle, it's your teammate's ball. So since this is coming out to the side, your teammate isn't going to stretch across and go for the ball. So it's really important for you to follow this up and pay attention to the shooting opportunity instead of grabbing that corner boost. I know you love this corner boost, but we got to get you away from it. So again, your teammate's in the right spot. But instead you go for the demo, and then you kind of took it from him. So do you see how your teammate has to reach for that? And now you cut him off, so then he pauses. Wow, nice. That was a really nice shot. Okay, so another thing that I'm seeing right now, you're just using a lot of boost kind of for no reason. So here, use 50 boost to get behind your teammate, but he has possession. So you should be instead using a slight amount of boost to go with him and get ready for the pass. So I think he adjusted, the boost was actually here, and he just took it. He adjusted so that he could get the boost. But you should be here in this spot, right here, and moving up with him. Like this. And now you see that he's getting contested, and you start to go back. Like this. And then you wrap around this way. But you see how you're using a lot of boost? Let's just say you get to this point, right? You took the other boost. You pop this up. This was a pretty good hit. But now look at the amount they're using. You were just at 90. You don't know how he's going to hit it. You're at 60 now. And now you're at 40. And all you did was slightly adjust to the side. Whereas if you've just stayed here and moved to the right and just boosted about 20 boost, you'd be good to go coming around from here. So I'm going to talk about, well, we already talked about your boost. There's a little bit too much. And then your adjustment. So let's see. You hit this ball, right? When you see that the opponent is going at it from this angle, from the left, it's going to come out anywhere around here. Anywhere around here. So I want you to adjust and be ready for that. So as soon as you see him going out for that like this, come around this right side like this. So you come around wide, and then you go in at this point. Now if you see that he's closer, you could choose to go for the dunk, or you could just come back. Now you ended up getting the dunk. But I just want you to be prepared to have enough boost to get there. That doesn't mean you have to keep all of it in your tank. The thing I want you to really take away from this is that doing little boost adjustments, like pumping your boost here, and then turning, and then pumping your boost here, and then turning, and then pumping your boost, you're using a lot of boost that you could have used during the play. Again, in this case, you caught up to the ball. You still didn't have a lot of boost afterwards. I'm guessing you're going to give up possession here. And now you have no boost back. And you're out this side. So this is probably the third time that I've seen you in this situation where you have no boost and you're at that end. The other one was the other game when you're over here and you kind of chase down the ball that you already hit away from you because you used all the boost then. So I want you to avoid being stuck in these situations when you're on their side because it will increase your rotation back, your recovery time up by a lot. And your teammates could have found himself more in 1v2 or 1v1 situations. And at a higher rank, this other guy is going to start going for demos while this guy just slowly drags the ball in. So again, see how long it takes you to get back? Now you could get back in time for this. You still did. But again, it was a very long recovery time. So I just want you to be careful of that. Okay, so this is another like throwaway kind of thing where you're constantly trying to just get to the ball as fast as possible. I really want you to get out of the habit of going for these big boosts. You're really going way far out of your way to get them. So the play is happening in the front right corner. Like right there, that front flip, I think is no good. I think you should be coming back towards this. Towards here, like this. And being closer to the play. So at the end of this streak, when you come all the way down, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, or 5. And 5 times, what is it, 12? It's 60. You'd have 60 boost, which is more than enough to go for basically any defensive play or offensive play, and you'd be in the proper position. Instead, you're kind of just scurrying, trying to get to the big boosts around, and it's keeping you out of the play. So if it was keeping you in the play and it's your proper rotation around, I think that'd be fine. Or if you're rotating around and you grab their corner boost and, you know, you'll be ready to wrap around for the play after, then that's fine. But going all the way out of your way here is really risky. Because see how you're constantly trying to catch up to the play, and now you're outrunning yourself? It all stems to your choices. So I want you to just be aware of that. Okay, this is fine by you, I think. I mean, it's a little bit of a giveaway again. That's not bad positioning by you. I think this is fine. What I would do in these situations, if you can, is I would front flip it down. So front flip it so that it rolls up this wall. And if you make it roll up that wall, then you could go up the wall and kind of continue with it. And if you see this guy contesting you, then you could flick it out. Or if he's not contesting you and you have time, you know, check the rear view mirror, make sure this guy isn't going to demo you on his way back because he's going to be turning. but you front flip it, you bring it up the wall, bring it forward, and then you make the play. Again, if this guy is contesting you, you can flick it out to your teammate, you can flick it out over the crossbar, you could even get a goal. Or you could let it roll down after you do that initial hit, and then get a ground play, get an infield pass, or just dribble this guy straight up, or wait for your teammate to go for the demo. So you have plenty of options. Again, you did this hit. It kind of outran you. It's okay. Just the same thing that I was talking about before. As this analysis goes on and we go to the next game, it's going to be more of just like me pointing out the same things that I've been pointing out. So it'll be a lot less explanation, basically, just more of like, hey, look, this is what you're doing, you know? Okay, so this wasn't bad position. I think you just got confused from your teammate. Again, here, if you see him start to go to the side that he's going to hit it, I probably wouldn't risk it. I would have just went back like you did. So I think that's okay. Good patience. I like the patience. Do you notice how whenever you slow the ball down that you're getting it past your opponents? And whenever you speed the ball up, you're rarely getting it, you're rarely actually making a play out of it. And it's because your opponents, especially at the diamond level, they want to just chase the ball. They just want to go after it as fast as possible. So being the counter to that, make them score against themselves by messing up. Patience is a virtue. Even at the GC rank, man, it still happens. Numero tres. Same opponents, too. You guys are like scrimming at this point. Okay, so this is another thing. Well, it's actually the same thing as before. I'll just reiterate. Do you see how your teammate's going up? This whole field. Now he's diving at this. The opponent's taking this slow. This is the part where I would be playing. In twos, you really want to play with your teammate. And again, it's being in those types of situations that you're allowed to get back if you have to, or you're allowed to make the play off of your teammate's pass. But do you see how you're kind of being really passive here? This flip, this initial flip, going back here is okay, but your teammate has possession. So I'll show you the path that I'd follow in this case. So you're over here. This guy hits the ball. I'd come back just like you were, going back like this. And now your teammate hits it. So this is where I come around this way. And then this is where I start to slightly turn, like this. If I think that the opponent is going to make that contest, at the midfield, I would start to turn slightly, and then I see that he's hitting it, and I turn back. And then I try to meet him here. Now instead, you're just getting to the midfield. So it makes you have to recover a fair amount to get back to the play. Now, being too passive, it's not bad. It's not bad, but you really do want to work with your teammate. If you did really think that this guy was going to – it looked like he was going to beat him there. So I understand that you wanted to go back. You wanted to be ready for it, and that's okay. But if you notice in general, if you're playing a few games and you notice like, hey, there's a play going downfield, I'm missing like a few pass opportunities because I'm all the way back. Try to be in a position where you can hit those balls or come back if they lose possession, if your teammate lose possession. So usually that's around the midfield side. If this is the case, I'd be going a little halfway and then see my teammate makes it and turn in. And that's that. Now your touch wasn't bad. They're still recovering. But let's keep going. This is good positioning by you so far. Okay. I mean, you try to get it past them. This is a good read by him. If you see someone diving at this, what I usually think is try to think how they think. Let's put it that way. So at this level, this guy is probably going to try to get to this ball at a point that would get it somewhere towards the middle. So if you know that when you're going for this, I would try to think that he's going to try to hit it this way. So I would hit it this way. Now, you don't want to hit it off this side because it's going to go to this guy. You'd want to hit it somewhere on this right here. So then it follows along the wall, and then you could follow it up. So that's the kind of mindset you want to get in. Try to get hits on the ball that would get past one person, and then so that you could continue to follow it up. So again, this whole setup, it's okay. It's not bad. But we'll just leave it up to the good dunk from the other guy. But I just want to give you my mindset when going for these types of hits. That was a nice pop. Okay, so in this case right here, you're taking a lot of time to understand what your teammate's doing. So right here, this is where I see, okay, my teammate has possession. He's outrunning the opponent. I have to get into a spot where he's going to be able to pass it to me or whether I could follow it up. So I would start boosting all the way like this, all the way, and then I see that he's hitting it away. Then I slow down, and then I start to go around for it. That's when you play. Instead, you see how you slowed down here? So right here, it's okay to take the slow. You don't know if Black Lotus is going to contest it here. So now you see that your teammate hits it away. This is where you start speeding up and get to a point where you could pass it. And this is where you could call for a pass. So not back here, but if you see him having possession and you be up in time, then you could say, yo, hit it to the left. I'm left. And then he'll flip it to you, and then you'll score that 9 times out of 10 as long as you put that on target. And this guy is back towards net. Again, not a terrible dribble by your teammate, but you're constantly reaching for plays that your teammate's making because you're playing it a bit too safe. On a side note here with boost management, you're using boost after you're already full speed. So I want you to pay attention to that too. So look at your trail. Ready? Let's see when it goes off. Boom. Here, 54 boost. You could have not boosted at all and maintained that full speed the rest of the field. And now you're at 18. Now for jumping, I mean, you could use a little bit more, of course, because it will stop your momentum a bit, but just in the future. So again, the path here would have been a little bit far up. Say your teammate made that move. Say your teammate made that move, right? You were like, yo, pass it. And he said, no, I got it. So he hits it up, right? I would slow down here, see that the ball's coming off the wall, and see that Black Lotus has this, and I'd start going back like this. Start going back like this. I would start the shadow here and go around here. And then, boom, hit the ball. Your teammate definitely made a weird play there on the way back, but yeah. See what happened here. Okay, I mean, you got it over that initial guy. I won't say anything about that because you did get the follow-up after, but it's kind of the same thing as before. This was a good contest by you. It's a solid 50-50. Nice. Also, in this case, side note, if you're not going to jump for this, if you're not going to jump off the wall, which is perfectly fine, you could just stay on the wall, chip it, so like hit the ball without actually jumping, and then just come back down. So in turn, you get the pass. You still get the same pass that you would have because you weren't jumping at the time of hitting the ball, or you might have been, but you're stuck to it because you were on the curve. So you could just run into it and then come down and get this boost so that you're ready. If you do jump, if you see that you're jumping a lot of the time on this wall, especially in twos, and it's taking you a really long time to recover, it's because you're jumping off and you're probably not landing properly. So there's a couple of things. You could work on your recoveries off of hits from a wall flip, or you could just stay on the wall. If it's rolling, the best way to get it out is to just run into it without even jumping, which is what you did. But in any event, that was a good pass. Still a decent recovery by you, though. You managed to land nicely on the wall. Okay, so for this, in this situation, you see that he's turning back for it. This is when I would slow down completely. So do you see how you continue to go? You came a little bit too close here on this play. Now, I know what you were doing, and that's fine. But I would have slowed down at around here so that when he hits this ball, whether if he hits it over here or off of this wall or off of this wall, you'll be ready for it. The closer you are, the less things you're going to be ready for. And that's why you made this little 180 here. Because he hit it to the side and you didn't know how to approach it. Whereas if you'd slowed down and you played off his hit over here, then you can make that play a lot better. Make the dunk or go for it at a point that you want, instead of kind of forcing yourself to make the decision quicker because you're too close to the play. Let's just keep watching. Let's see. So you managed to get it anyways. A little bit of a weird dribble by him, but still not a bad job. That was a good beat there. Okay, so this is really confusing for your teammate. Okay, so you want to bump him. It makes him go up. But you see how you keep going for the ball? That makes your teammate kind of confused. So right here, let's say you want to go out. You want to go for the bump. It's not a terrible move. Not a terrible move. But after you get him to jump, rotate back around right away like this. So rotate back towards your net. That would allow your teammate, he would have been out already, pretty much going for it. So you rotate back to your net like this, and he would have been contesting that ball. This hit wouldn't have even happened. But in this case, even if he did miss that ball when he went out, you were here, you'd be ready for this. But what you really want to do, you don't want to confuse your teammate, especially in the corner. You just want to make those rotations around and carry on with it. Okay, so I don't mind this boost grab. That was actually pretty good. Okay, so another thing. When you're coming back, avoid hitting the ball. Look at how this looks to this guy. So this makes him hesitate, and it lets the opponents kind of gather themselves. It's not so bad, because I know you wanted to get it away from the ball. But if he's already going for it and he has momentum, I would just avoid touching it so that it doesn't cause him to adjust himself. But again, it's not the end of the world in that kind of situation. But if you do see that it's messing up your teammate a bit when going for it. Just avoid touching the ball on your way back when he's getting possession. Okay, this is another thing where if you're in the goal here and waiting for a hit, just keep your nose straight like this. Keep your nose straight. If you actually expect the shot, if you keep your nose straight here, then you could adjust out and then go for it. But you kind of committed to an angle where you didn't even know where the ball was going to go yet, instead of just defending the net. So it'll make your life easier if you adjust in the net. Orient yourself based on the play. And since the play was just directly in the center of the field, it was slightly to the left over here. But since the ball could go anywhere easily, even though your teammate was contesting, since you were in the net anyway, it's better just position yourself so that you can make the save no matter where it went. Whether it went top right, top left. Nice, really good pass. Okay, I don't mind this play. Let me see what this looked like to your teammate. This is where you should have wrapped around. He didn't expect you to pass this, I don't think. But that was a really good pass. Your teammate's definitely not comfortable on the walls. I've seen him mess up a lot over these past couple of games on the wall. Okay, so you're a little bit patient here. I mean, this is okay for you to be patient. There's no play actually happening. Yeah, your teammate's definitely being awkward. Okay, this is another opportunity where you have a shooting. You have a shooting opportunity here. You have him beat. You have this guy beat, and he hit it to a point where you could score this right now. You could definitely score that. Over these last few games, I really haven't seen you in the air too much. So I think that's just a lack of confidence in the mechanical skill again. And if air roll left and right is too hard, you know what Flump told you, then just stick to the regular air roll for now. And just practice the regular air roll shots. Okay, so this is another possession giveaway. Same thing we talked about before. Again, see how you're going to the left boost? I would just immediately start flipping back. They're on a breakaway. You wouldn't have made the save anyway, but just to get in the habit. Okay, so that was a weird rotate. After you make that play, let your teammate get this hit and start to go out mid. Just start to wrap around mid. Like this way. This way your teammate could pass it to you. Instead, you kind of end up juking him because you stop on the wall. Just continue those rotations. All right, so that time you were actually coming out with him. That was good. Not bad. Try to call out those things to your teammates. Say, like, you're coming up on the right or you're coming up on the left. I haven't seen too many pass plays. You've been trying to pass to him more, way more than he's trying to pass to you. And there are a lot of plays where, I mean, there are some plays where I told you about. Oh, there's an aerial. A lot of plays, or a couple, where you could have been in the right spot for him to pass it to you, but he hasn't been trying to pass it regardless. He doesn't seem like he wants to get the ball to you. So try to explain that to him. You want to get more passes going. Let's see what happens in this overtime. All right, good save there. I'm just going to fast forward to the goal since this is a 2-minute overtime. I'm already way over an hour, I think. Went a little bit overboard. Okay, so good positioning by you. Okay, so here, see how your teammate still has possession? This is the time to go for a pass. This is a perfect time for you to go towards the left. So you kind of threw it away from him, and that gave him the open slot to go for the goal. So now, again, for you, it probably looked like he lost possession, or he doesn't have the ability to recover, which is okay. But still going for this full speed is pretty risky. Unless you could get another follow-up hit. But again, when you have this guy in an awkward position, you have the ability to slow down the play to your speed and then, you know, make a play off of that. So this was a perfect passing opportunity, but it's all right. It happens. All right. But on that note, I hope this helped. Thank you so much again for doing a lesson. And I hope I pointed out some things. I really feel like I tackled some stuff that you could really work on. But yeah, let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. And hope it helped. All right. Peace out, man.